all placement. Don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe. Hit your notification bell so you can be notified when I'm live for other messages, other readings, and lots more. Feel free to leave a comment to let me know how it resonates. If you're watching this after the live stream, y'all, I'm just trying to adjust some things here. If you would like to leave a message after the live stream, please do so, okay? All right, let me light this sage candle here. We're going to go ahead and take a look, Pisces, into your overall energy. Check out what's going on around you. And also, as always, we're looking at forward movement, okay? All right. Hello, Diego. What messages do we have for my Pisces? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cross Watcher. Hey, Erica. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in today. What does Pisces need to hear? Be black. Oh, it's Brad? Hey, Brad. I'm doing good. How are you? How are you, Erica? How's everybody doing? Good to have you. Why you change your name? Why you change your name? Let's see overall energy here. I keep getting this card for you, Pisces. Roll the dice. Bottom of the deck. Unexpected. Okay. No worries. No worries. That's cool. Unexpected, Pisces. What's going on? Pisces, you're going to be setting yourself up to take a leap of faith, right? And something seems like it's coming in that you don't expect. Okay? This could be that job you've been waiting to hear from, that person, that application is going to be approved. King of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I got two kings in the reverse here. Like, you don't know if you're going to pass or fail. This could be I'm not going to say midterm, final exam. A score from a final exam for some of you. You have no idea, but you're taking a chance. You're taking a leap of faith. But I feel like with the unexpected card, things are going to unexpectedly work in your favor. And you're going to be so shocked. Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. You're going to have something to celebrate here. Whatever this is. Okay? This could have already happened. We got divine timing. So some of you have been wondering why it's been taking so long. It's all about divine timing. It's all about when it's supposed to happen. Okay? Clarify divine timing. The Fool. Hangman in the reverse. When it's time, you're going to have some things come into place that are going to set you free from this doubt. Set you free from this anguish. And what you're going to find is it's going to set you free, period. It's kind of like with you stepping back and not worrying about your money situation, you're going to see opportunities to make more money come in, either on your job or in different ways. Some of you could be coming into different streams of income. Look at that, because I got finances here. Some of you have had some issues when it comes to money, or you could be budgeting. You could be getting to a place of really looking at your money, trying to figure out how you could save more, or how you could pay off more, or some things like that. We got the Nine of Wands in reverse and the Empress. Yep. So you could be taking that chance right there. I do have the family card here. Now, I do feel like whatever is coming in for you, Pisces, is not going to only benefit you. It's going to benefit your entire family. Okay? The Five of Wands and the Six of Wands. Fire energy here. Yeah. I feel like it's been a struggle for you. Or it will be a struggle. But I do also feel like you're going to be victorious. Okay? It may seem like a struggle. It may seem like things are happening. The death is in the reverse here. But I do feel like a way is going to be made. Okay? I feel like also Pisces is going to require you to trust the process with the surrender card. Some of you have been working very hard to do that. Because if you think about it, we can manifest all day. We can say whatever, do whatever, but until we really believe that that manifestation is coming through, it's not going to mean not one thing. The Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Ten of Wands. Yep. And with that, you have to surrender. You have to really believe and feel in your spirit that things are going to change, or else you're going to keep that burden of, oh my gosh, it's not going to work. Because what I feel like, Pisces, once you start being more honest with yourself with the truth card and really looking at the situation for what it is, you're going to see that it is time for you to just trust and be good where you are and not try to rush anything. The Knight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ace of Cups, especially love. You don't want to rush love. You just don't want to do that. Okay? I think a lot of us, I won't say everybody, a lot of us have made that mistake at least once. Where you got to in a point in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I want a relationship. I want somebody to come home to. I want this, I want that. I want somebody to go out with. And then you rush and you try to make that happen. You try to make something into something that you want. Oh my gosh. And it's like the worst feeling in the world. Because it's not supposed to be that way. Things that are supposed to be for you are supposed to present themselves to you, and it just flows. Just think about the things you have aligned in your life right now. Things that have come into your life as a blessing. Whatever that was, whether you got that degree or that certification or whatever like that. And you notice that you put effort in, but it just came to you, right? That's because it was meant for you to obtain those things. And it's the same thing with having love. Two of Swords in the reverse. And I feel like that's the clarity that you're going to be receiving, or you already have. Not wanting to rush, not wanting to make things more than what they are. Really accepting the reality of your situation at this point. Okay? I feel like, honestly, Pisces, with the Mask card, there could have been a lot of you that were just kind of sitting back and dealing with people or situations that had hidden motives. People were acting like they were somebody else, or trying to come off like they were more than what they are. But Pisces, being that you've always been so intuitive, you figured it out. You figured it out. But I love this because it's not stopping you from believing in love with the Temperance card, or success. You may have had somebody scam you out of some money, and you're like, oh my gosh, that person was a scammer. But now I feel like you understand that, hey, there's people like this out there, but that doesn't mean everybody's like this, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. Ace of Swords in reverse. So yeah, just really recognizing where you are, setting yourself up for better. I was going to say for better or for worse. Somebody could be renewing vows, or somebody could be attending a wedding. The Judgment in the reverse and the Two of Wands. Yep. So a lot of you are living You are living out the life that you prayed for right now. You've prayed for this life. I don't know if it was 10 years ago, 10 months ago, whenever. But a lot of you are living in the moment that you prayed for. Are you in a position to really acknowledge where you are? The King of Swords in reverse and the Seven of Swords in reverse. Are you in a position to really acknowledge where you are? Do you acknowledge that it wasn't but so long ago that you actually prayed and manifested where you are right now? Or are you just focused on what hasn't come in yet? You got to know if things have come in already, everything else is sure to come in. You got to know that. Knight of Wands in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse. Yep. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not coming in, okay? The Three of Pentacles and the Moon in the reverse. Have faith. It's about surrendering, having faith, recognizing that whatever you've prayed for, meditated on, whatever is coming in. You know? Because anything you wait for like this is going to be well worth it. Okay? Some of you have been in relationships. Most of your relationships were where you were always doing everything. Everything. You were doing it all, trying to make it work. And guess what? It wasn't for you. You're not supposed to be in a relationship that you had to do everything. That's why it drained you. So the divine has pulled you away, having you to work on yourself and other things while your mate gets ready for you, or vice versa. Because what the divine knows is that when you come together with this person, it's going to be a partnership. Whatever it is. It's rare that relationships are 50-50. Nowadays, y'all already know it's 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. Sometimes it's even 90-10. I wouldn't want a relationship where I'm doing 90% of the work. But anyway, but y'all know how it goes. But when you have a partnership where one person may surpass you in one area and vice versa, it just works. Especially when they surpass you in an area and then you surpass them in an area. But y'all two, you don't have a big ego, so you can come together and say, okay, well, he's good at this, I'm good at this, so let's be good together. And I feel like that's what you deserve, Pisces. You don't deserve to keep getting in situations where you're doing the work. A lot of you were way too advanced for these people that you had in the past. You were too advanced. You were just too in tune. That's why they couldn't connect with you. Devil in the reverse and the King of Pentacles. Y'all, a lot of you were dealing with people where they didn't want you to be as smart as you are. They didn't want you to be as in tune, as smart, as aware. Sometimes your self-awareness and your ability to look at things can really freak out people, freak them out. So if you've ever been in a situation where somebody was trying to belittle you, trying to make you smaller, it was because of your awareness. The Hierophant in the reverse and the Four of Swords. For a lot of these people, while they were sleeping, you were thinking. Okay? While they were sleeping, you were thinking. That's just how you are. Eight of Wands in the reverse and the Nine of Swords. Yep. Now, some of you have also been through a lot of emotional stuff because you're like this. Maybe you think a lot. Maybe you think too much. I don't know. But I do feel like you've been very in tune with self for a while. Page of Wands, Three of Cups in reverse. But I've also feel like, Pisces, there have been areas where you've sold yourself short with the Seven of Cups and your choices and your options. But I feel like now you're going to be moving forward like nobody's business. They better watch out because you driving a dump truck. You driving a dump truck or you driving a 18 wheeler and you like, somebody's a truck driver by the way, and you like, y'all better get out the way. Y'all better get out the way. Okay. Wow. Let's see what's going on around you. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe. Thank you so much if you are joining us for the first time. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get into what's going on around you. All right, y'all. All right, give me one moment, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm back. Thank you, B Matt. Hey, Co baby, talking about a rude awakening. Well, I wasn't trying to be harsh. You know, I try to speak the real, y'all. Even if it's about you, even if it's something that I'm picking up that Pisces you've been slacking on, I have to keep it real. I'm not one of those readers. Not saying we have those, but I am not a reader to just ignore the not so good parts in the reading that come through. You know, I feel like you do a person a disservice when you do that. Because we all know things are not always peaches and cream. It's just not. It'll be nice, but it's not like that. What's the overall energy for Pisces around you? Secret crush. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we got signs and synchronicities. Pisces, you've been getting a lot of attention lately, and a lot of you been feeling it. Okay. A lot of you have been feeling the attention. Maybe you've been noticing people checking you out. Point blank. But I feel like a lot of you are getting attention. You could have somebody admiring you from a distance. Or you could, coming up, somebody could be admiring you. If they're not already. The Death is in the reverse in the Hierophant here. Could be a Taurus or a Scorpio. Yeah. Mine's not saying anything just yet, but they could be admiring you, or you could be admiring somebody else. Who are you looking at, Pisces? You got your eye on somebody. Clarify signs and synchronicity. The Chariot, Page of Cups. Yeah, Pisces. A lot of you, you could have your eye on somebody else, but I do feel like but somebody has their eye on you. Hey, y'all. Yes. We got intuition. Clarify intuition here. The Fourth of Pentacles in the reverse and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, pay attention to your intuition, Pisces, on this journey. Some of you could be traveling. Maybe you get ready to take a trip. Safe travels. You could be going to the beach. Wherever you are and you meet somebody, make sure you are aware of your surroundings. Make sure you are aware of, you know, where you are. Have fun, but be aware of your surroundings. And also remember your boundaries. Just because you meet somebody and they cute and they might have a nice smile and all these things, that's still a stranger. You know what I'm saying? There have been murderers that have pretty faces. Like, just saying. I'm not trying to scare y'all, but yeah. Please be safe. Just cause they cute, they got a nice body, don't mean that they're not crazy. Just saying. They may have some stuff going on. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Swords in reverse. Yes. Yes. Take the blindfold off, Pisces. It says, looks can be deceiving. Of course. Yep. A lot of times, if y'all pay attention, if you think back in your past relationships, and I don't like to go back in the past like that, but it comes through in the reading for a reason, because somebody just needs some clarity or just a reminder. But if you think back to some of your relationships or stages of a relationship, maybe you haven't been in a lot of relationships, but you had at least one or two significant ones, right? Think about the time that you were just enamored by this person's looks. Something about them, you know. It could have been their smile. It could have been their body. It could have been anything, you know, and you were just so into that. You were so attracted to them for that trait. I mean, we get older, we get wiser, we recognize like, hey, you gotta have more than just pretty dimples. You gotta have more than just a nice body. You know what I mean? You gotta have more than nice legs. But sometimes in the beginning we start off like that. And what I feel like, Pisces, you've recognized with the heartbreak card, that only looking at the physical only looking at the physical will leave you hurt. And maybe you tell your friends that. You could have a friend that's always checking out women or checking out men. You like, I know like me. I say, girl, he may look good, but he could be crazy. Give me somebody in between. Give me somebody in between. All right? I don't like the whole rating people, because with me, it just all depends. I can't rate a person. It just depends, because I've never been that type of person that say, "Oh, I'm not gonna deal with that person because it don't look like X, Y, and Z." But to me, if it looks good to me, cool. But I just always have liked just ordinary people, because I'm an ordinary woman. Like, I want you to be neat, respectful, all those things, but you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be. And I remember I told a friend of mine this one time. We were talking about it. She was like, I can't find nobody. Oh my God. I said, okay, so what do you want in a partner? And she started talking about how she want his body to look. I said, look, I don't mean no harm. But how are you going to want to manifest somebody that has that kind of body and you don't have that kind of body? And I wasn't trying to throw under the bus. But how can you ask for somebody to have a six-pack, all these things, and you don't have that? So, not saying that you can't meet somebody who doesn't have that and they won't love you. It's just that realistically, when you just go on looks, you better watch that. You know? Because that could be an illusion for you. They could be crazy. There could be a whole lot of stuff there. So, some of you have experienced heartbreak from somebody that you felt was just beautiful or fine or whatever like that, and you've learned. Yep, see? Seven of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune, you've learned. You had to go through a situation with somebody that you felt was very attractive, and you got hurt, a lot of you, or you got played, And you like, no, man, You gotta bring more to the table than just your looks. I done had pretty, I done had handsome, you know. So what, what else is there? Okay, like what's behind that pretty face? Do you use your brain? You know what's up? What's what's going on? Can you take care of yourself? It's not my business, but is your credit score decent? You know, Page of Swords here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is going to help you with the Page of Swords, Pisces. This is going to help you weed out this right here, the players, the playettes, okay? It's going to help you weed those out when we stop looking at the looks. Don't you sometimes wish that you would have had the mindset that you have now back then? You know what I mean? Like when I was in high school. Like, oh my God, I'm sitting around worried about all this. Oh, I wonder is he gonna ask me to the prom and all this kind of stuff? And now, at this point in my life, I'm like, I could have went up in that prom by my daggone self and had a great time with my friends. Like, but we live, we learn, we grow, then we know, okay? And when we know better, we do better. And knowing better is going to help you to alleviate this right here, the player. Somebody come in to charm and waste your time. Waste your time, waste your time. I was just talking to my mom the other day, like, hey, you can waste your own time. You don't need nobody coming in your life and wasting your time. The Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Cups in reverse. I bet you did, DP. Yeah. You solid all in within yourself, Pisces. Queen of Pentacles energy, whether you're male or female, you're solid, you're stable, you know what you want, you know where you're going, but you gotta be in tune with your emotions with what I'm about to say, okay? Pisces, you're very intuitive, very emotional. So when you are getting to know somebody, check in with those emotions. And what I mean is, don't just sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I got to try so hard not to be emotional. No, you need to check into your emotions. If this person's energy is throwing off your energy and your emotions where you're having to just think too hard, Four Cups in reverse, you need to check into that. Because that person may not align with you. But sometimes if we want something bad enough, we'll try it and try it and try it. And we know the whole time that is just not it. And we learn maybe 2 or 3 or 6 months later, like, oh my gosh, I should have got rid of this a long time ago. Pay attention to how things make you feel. You have that high intuition and you're emotionally in tune for a reason. Wasted time. And we can't get it back. We can't get it back. Once that time is wasted, we can't get it back. Because I'm going to tell you, some of these jokers out here, they never even deserve a conversation. They never even deserve a hello or a goodbye. You know, but we learn. We learn as we grow. We learn. And it always take that one situation to break you off, and you learn. And you'll never forget it. That one situation that just hurt you so bad you sat up at night and you had to get yourself together. That's usually the one that break you, and you recognize, oh my goodness, I need to really do better about protecting myself and having firm boundaries and not letting everybody have access, or people have access to me that don't deserve it. We got third party here. It says interference, cheating, competition, mistress. Pisces, anytime you meet somebody new and you already off the rip got to compete with an ex that they still talking to, or I hate to say it, they might be married, talking about they separate out. Yo, unless you are into sharing a person, you need to abort the mission. You need to abort the mission because you're always going to be number 4. And I know you're like, what? Number 4? Mm-mm. You're going to be number 4. If not number 5. This person's going to always put everything in front of you because they are already coming to you with baggage. They are not coming to you as a free man or a free woman. Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Knight of Wands in the upright. Yep. They are not coming to you as a free person. They are full of baggage. You don't want that. All right? If they come approaching you and y'all get to talking, whoop, whoop, and they start talking about their ex is still calling them, you need to run. And that goes the same thing for you. If you still hung up on an ex, you still on the phone, you still be caked up on the phone with your ex, you don't need to be dating anybody until you figure out what that situation is. Because if not, you're going to do the new person a disservice and yourself because you're going to get that karma back. Okay? I have toxic relationship. Why do we have toxic relationship? The 5 of Swords and the Sun in the reverse. Some things are just not worth fighting for. And being unhappy from the beginning and then trying to be happy, it's not worth fighting for to be happy with somebody you already unhappy with. Do you know any women that can admit when they are wrong? I feel like women don't like to admit it. Just ask your opinion. Yeah, me. I tell you. I'll tell you when I'm wrong. I don't mind. But once again, it requires an open mind. It requires a person that has just gotten to a place of recognizing that, whether it's man or woman, just an individual that has gotten to a place where they recognize, like, hey, I've been a saint and a sinner. Like, I make mistakes. Hey, I'm not perfect. I don't mind if I did something, or if I talk crazy. You know how sometimes you can be ill and you'll talk a little crazy to somebody you're talking to? I'm usually like the first one to just say, you know what? Yeah, I got to apologize. I'm sorry I said that. You know what I'm saying? Or if I did something that was just wild and I recognize it as wrong. Now with me, if you tell me that I've done something right, I'm probably not going to say anything at first because I got to go evaluate it. Now, if I go evaluate it and I say, you know what? I do see where they coming from. Maybe I was a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I have been difficult to deal with. But we got to look at self. And I'm constantly reflecting on myself, you know? 7 of Wands in the reverse. Because we can't. How can you try to hold somebody accountable and you don't even hold yourself accountable? That's where it starts. And let me tell you something. The beautiful part about holding yourself accountable, I'm going to tell y'all, when you hold yourself accountable and you hold others accountable, they can't argue with you. Do you know how hard it is to argue with somebody that holds himself accountable? Say, for instance, you tell somebody that you don't like how they talk or how they come off to you or whatever. You say, oh, it was rude. You say things that are just not this and that. Okay. And they come back and they try to, because everybody does this sometimes. They come back and say, well, I remember a time where you said this and you said that. And then Pisces, this is what you say because you're accountable. You're high vibing. You say, you know what? I did do that. Yeah, I just wasn't in a good space. But since then, I have learned that you got to take time to really think about yourself and treat people the way you want to be treated. That person's mouth is going to drop because a lot of people don't do that. And it's hard for anybody to argue with you when you hold yourself accountable. When somebody can come and tell you about you and you don't get mad. And your first line of defense is, I ain't do that. Even if it is, even if your first line of defense is, I didn't do that. You take some time and process it, and you think about it like, dang, yeah, that was kind of messed up. And then you go back to that person, if you can, and try to make it right. And say, hey, I just wasn't in a good space. That's not an excuse. I do apologize. I'm working on myself, whatever. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are single because of that reason. Oh, I know. I know. That is so true. I've dated guys like that. I mean, I dated one guy. This was a while ago. I think I shared it on here one time. When I told him, because he still had a situation, and I told him, I said, this is probably not going to work for me. I need time to think. Do I even want to go through it? And he just hit me with an F bomb to my F you. I'm like, what? What? I didn't talk to that man for like 2 weeks. And even then, when he called me, I had just lost interest. So, and that can keep a person on his end single, because how dare you disrespect me? You know what I'm saying? Knowing what I know now, if you do that to me now, we never gonna talk again. So why I answered the phone 2 weeks later? I think a big part of me, I was mad and I wanted to tell him off. That, I believe that's why I answered the phone 2 weeks later. He told me, I apologize, I was wrong for that. I said, yeah, you were wrong. I said, and very disrespectful. Like, I lost a lot of respect for you when you did that. It just, ugh. So it's stuff like that, that you have to be, we all have to be so careful, because a person can lose attraction to you, or you lose attraction for somebody by what they say and what they do. Like standing somebody up for a date, or saying you're going to call them back and you never call. It's a turnoff when you don't keep your word. I'm more attracted to a woman that can admit her faults and have learned her lessons from it. That's right. Because we're not perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. Yep. Everybody makes mistakes. So yeah, Pisces, don't be afraid of being emotional. That's how you are. You're just that way. It's just, what are you doing to keep your emotions in check? You can't help if you're emotional. Don't get me what's what men want. Wow. Yeah. I can understand that. Yep. And women want that too, because you got some guys out here that there's a trip. They're a trip. I had a situation where I was the one that was admitting to my faults, and this man just, he didn't know what to do, because he wanted somebody to argue with, just argue back and forth with. And I was like, nah, I'm not with all that arguing, because that's probably what he was doing with his ex. So yeah, don't entertain that low vibe energy here, Pisces. But God gave us the ability to see that. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, and sometimes your calm nature freaks people out. I've had people to say, "Oh, you just too good to be true." Like, what's wrong with you? Like, and they be trying to find stuff wrong. I'm like, who does that? That's somebody that's not ready. They're not aware. You just too good to be true. Something got to be wrong. What? So then guess what they do? They try to make wrong in your life to try to prove themselves right. Y'all, that stuff is wild. That's why you can't deal with unhealed people. Cause they'll try to bring drama in your life just so they can have something to say, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. It's crazy. It's real crazy. So you really gotta watch that. It doesn't make any sense to me. They would try to bring drama in your life just so that they can feel comfortable, because all they've ever had was drama. I believe the best thing to do with a person like that is to get away from them because they got a lot of unresolved issues that have nothing to do with you. They got a lot of unresolved stuff. You just too good to be true. I don't understand that. What in the world? Really? But yeah, Pisces, this message here was pretty clear. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you received some more clarity on your situation, whatever that is. Make sure you like this video and please subscribe if you're new here. Welcome, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm live for other messages, other readings, and lots more. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know how it resonates. If you're watching this after the stream, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Have a beautiful evening, y'all. Stay safe and blessed. Remember that you're worth it always. Take care of yourself. Love and light, and we will talk again soon. Bye, y'all.